Hello world, I'm Sean Hyson, editor-in-chief of Onnit, and for some reason I'm going to be talking about the Rear-Delt Cable and Dumbbell Fly today. Because even though it's one of the most basic and boring exercises ever, you guys are Googling it. In all fairness, I understand that there's a lot of confusion about rear-delt flies and the different ways they're done, so I'm going to try and clear things up for you right now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. The rear-delt fly, whether it's done with cables or dumbbells, is the simplest and most direct way to train the rear deltoid, the little muscle on the back of your shoulder. You start with your arms in front of your body and you extend them out to your sides. Rear-delt flies are important because most people have lopsided shoulders. They sit staring at a computer or their phone all day, rounding their upper back, and that causes the posterior muscles to weaken and lengthen while the anterior muscles get tighter. If you're a fitness fiend, you probably do too much pressing and chest work in relation to your rowing and rear delt work, and that contributes to the imbalance. So rear delt flies help to build up the back of the shoulder, which contributes to the appearance of bigger and more even shoulders overall, and they can help to prevent shoulder injury by restoring muscle balance. Strong rear delts help keep the shoulder joints centered rather than pulled forward, which wards off shoulder injuries like an impingement. Step 1. Set both pulleys at an adjustable dual cable station to the height of your head. Grasp the cables themselves with your palms facing down, crossing one arm over the other. And stand with your feet between hip and shoulder width apart. You may want to stagger your stance for extra balance. Step back a bit so you feel tension on the cables and a light stretch in your rear delts before you even begin the set. Step 2. Brace your core. Now drive your arms straight out to your sides while keeping a slight bend in your elbows. You really have to do this as an arcing motion, as if reaching out for the walls around you. Stop when your arms are 90 degrees. Step 3. Lower the cables under control and stop just short of where the weights touch down on the stack. You want to keep your rear delts working throughout the entire set, and letting the weight rest for a moment lets your delts rest too. You could also do the fly using single grip or D handles attached to the cables and your palms facing each other. This may bring a little more of your lateral delts into the exercise, but that isn't a terrible thing. Ultimately, choose the setup and hand position that feels most comfortable to you and allows you to train the exercise hard and heavy. Step 1. Hold a dumbbell in each hand and bend your hips back until your chest faces the floor. Keep a long spine as you do so to protect your lower back. Turn your hands so your palms face your legs. Step 2. Raise the dumbbells out to your sides 90 degrees while keeping a slight bend in the elbows. Your torso should remain motionless. Step 3. Control the descent and stop a little short of your arms being vertical. Again, you want to keep tension on the delts. If you have an adjustable bench, it's a good idea to do the rear delt fly with both cables or dumbbells, using the bench for support. The bench stabilizes your body for you, and that will allow you to focus more on the rear delts and give them a better stimulus. It will also force you to do the movement more strictly, as many people have a tendency to bounce their torso when doing dumbbell rear delt flies. No big surprises here. The rear delt works. Ta-da! The rear deltoids! Your upper back muscles, such as the trapezius and rhomboids, will also get involved a little bit. But that's why it's so important to raise your arms out only to 90 degrees, where they're in line with your sides. While it might seem like extending your arm back further will give you an even better contraction in the deltoid, you're really just bringing the traps into the movement even more. The rear delt fly is supposed to isolate the deltoid so you can focus on building up that muscle alone. So do it right and let the target muscles do their thing. Okay, so here's the big question. Should you do the rear delt fly with cables or dumbbells? Well, the advantage of a cable is that the resistance is constant throughout the whole range of motion. That means that even when your arms are in front of you, your deltoids are still going to be working pretty hard. You'll notice that when you use dumbbells, this isn't the case. The tension drops off the delts completely when your arms point toward the floor. And the fly feels the hardest at the end of the range of motion, where your arms are extended at your side. Either version is okay, and if you train at home or only have access to dumbbells, then the dumbbell rear delt fly is what you'll have to rely on to build your rear delt muscles. But if you can get your hands on a cable, I highly recommend using that instead for a more complete rear delt workout. Another good alternative would be exercise bands, which keep tension on the delts throughout the whole range. Rear-Delt Cable X Fly. The rear-delt fly doesn't always have to be done with your arms traveling to 90 degrees. Some trainers argue that if you perform the fly with a 45-degree arm path, you'll be able to go a little further into shoulder extension and contract the rear delts even harder without getting the upper back involved. Step 1. Set the pulleys of the cable station up high, at least to shoulder level. Grasp the cables themselves, you don't need a handle, with a crossover grip. And step back so you feel some tension on the cables. Stagger your stance for balance. Step 2. Extend your arms in a 45-degree path as if drawing an X in the air until your rear delts are fully shortened. Your arms will be behind your body. While a fly motion lets you work your rear delts without assistance from the back and biceps, it's not the only way to train the rear delts. Rowing exercises certainly hit the rear delts as well, and you can emphasize them over the back muscles with a Rear-Delt Row variation. Step 1. Set an adjustable bench to a 45-degree incline and lie down with your chest against the pad. Grasp a dumbbell in each hand. Step 2. Row the weights up with your elbows pointing 45 degrees out from your sides. Row until your upper back and rear delts are fully contracted, and then lower under control. Sometimes you don't feel focused and alert in the gym, and your workout can suffer as a result. New Alpha Brain pre-workout was designed specifically for athletes and gym goers and supports focus, power, and endurance. It's the ultimate way to charge up your mind and body. Use the coupon code GETONNIT to get 10% off Alpha Brain pre-workout at Onnit.com. Now back to the video. Rear delt exercises in general are often left to the end of upper body workouts. But if your rear delts are lagging, it's a good idea to do them first in your session when you're fresh and can give them your best effort. A few sets of rear delt cable flies before you do any pressing or lateral deltoid work will help to bring your rear delts up fast. In general, 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps is enough rear delt training for any one workout, and you should do this twice per week. Thanks for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. You can also read a whole article explaining the rear delt fly and all its variations by clicking the link in the description below.